All right, 2.4, solving multi-step inequalities. We'll look at number 1 here. Solving this, we do the same thing that we would do if we had an equal sign. So we start off by subtracting a 4 from both sides, and then we're going to have x over negative 2 is greater than negative 5. Next up, we have to multiply by negative 2 on both sides. And whenever we multiply by a negative, we have to flip the direction of the inequality. So right here, it's pointing to the right. Now it's going to be pointing to the left. I'll have an x and a positive 10. There we are. Number 2. Starting off, I subtract 2 from both sides. The left 2's cancel. I'm left with 4c is less than or equal to negative 3. Now I divide by 4. The 4's on the left cancel, and I have c is less than or equal to negative 3 over 4. This time I did not swap the inequality sign, or the direction of it, right? Because I divided by positive 4 here. Even though there's a negative up here, I didn't actually divide by that negative. That negative just stayed put. All right, number 3. I'm going to put my x's on the left, so I'll subtract 3x from both sides. The 3x's cancel, and I'll add 6 to both sides. The 6's on the left cancel. So 5 minus 3 is 2x, still greater than or equal to, and then 4 and 6 give me 10. Lastly, I divide by 2 on both sides. They cancel, and I'm left with x is greater than or equal to 5. And there we are. Next up, number 4. Now there's 2 directions we could take this problem. We could distribute the 2. That's a good way to do the problem. That's probably the first way that everyone sees. There's another easier, well, I think easier way that we could do this. We look here, and the 6, the 4, and the 2 are all even. So I could take out a 2 of all of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide everything by 2. Right? Instead of distributing, I'm going to divide. If you were to distribute, you'd get the same exact answer. Okay? You can do it that way. That's just fine. I just want to show you a different way to do it. 6 divided by 2 is 3t minus negative 4 over 2 is 2. Well, negative 2 is greater than, and then my 2's here just cancel. 3t plus 5. Now I'll subtract my t's, subtract 3t, subtract 3t. They cancel, and we're going to be left with negative 2 is greater than 5. Well, that doesn't make sense. Negative 2 is not greater than 5. It is not. So we would say something like no solution, right? We did that whenever we had a equality, an equal sign, where it was like 1 equals 2, right? We said, well, that's not true, so it's no solution. Here, this is not true, so it's no solution. Now, if on the homework it asks you to graph, the way that you would graph number 4 here is you draw your number line. Maybe you got negative 5, 0, and 5, any 3 numbers really, and you just leave it at that, right? By graphing it, you are not graphing it, right? Because there's no solution, so there's no graph, right? So we can draw the number line, but we can't graph it, okay? So again, on your homework, if you get a no solution, but it asks you to graph it, what you do is you just draw your number line, and you don't put anything on it. All right, number 5, last one. Now this one, we have a 2 hanging out front, like in the other one. But if we were to divide by 2, that 9 would turn into a fraction, and I just don't want that. So I'm going to distribute the 2, drawing little swoops. So I've got 4x minus 6.6 is less than or equal to 9 plus 4x. Here, I'll subtract my 4x's from both sides. They cancel, and I'm left with negative 6.6 is less than or equal to 9. Now that is true, right? That is always true. So we're going to say like all real numbers. There's a few different ways we could word that. Sometimes it's just all solutions. Sometimes I use the fancy little R there. All real numbers is one of those, a good blanket statement for that. Now on this one, if it asks you to graph, what you're going to do is you're going to draw your number line. We can put some numbers, maybe -5, 0, and 5. And it says all real numbers. So what we're going to do is we're going to graph the whole thing. We're going to shade the whole thing, right? So these are two special cases, right? No solution or all reals. Those are two special cases. No solution has no graph because nothing falls in the solution, right? Whereas in number 5, all reals, everything falls into the solution category. So everything gets shaded. All right, those are that. Good luck on your homework and let me know if you need any help.